Tonight, an Eyre Peninsula MP giving local residents a chance to pay tribute to the late Queen Elizabeth II. And new statistics reveal the horror drowning troll in Australia.
From our 7 Spencer Golf Studios, your nightly news with John Hunt begins now.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. A week on from Her Majesty the Queen's passing, the news of her death is still sending shockwaves around the world. People on the Eyre Peninsula can give their condolences by leaving a message at their local electorate office.
A testing time for the Commonwealth and all those around the world who admired the Queen. Queen Elizabeth II, an inspiration to many, touching the lives of people living on the Eyre Peninsula. Now locals can come and leave their condolences.
So the opportunity is for anyone within the community to come to my electorate office here in Port Lincoln and sign this condolence book. The office is going to be open throughout the week and all the way to the 22nd.
Her Majesty, no stranger to the region, gracing Port Lincoln with her visit back in 1954, having a long-term effect on those who witnessed the visit.
It is incredible how people's memories are still so vivid for something that happened nearly 70 years ago. The Queen has been on the throne for over 70 years and really she's been a steadying force for the whole world.
Electorate officers across the state will be collecting people's condolences before delivering them to Buckingham Palace. Despite this time of mourning, the member for Flinders says there is still plenty of hope looking to the future.
We've seen that outpouring of emotion but also optimism about the future. With the passing of the Queen, there comes the opportunity for King Charles III to take his place on the throne.
A public holiday has been declared for next Thursday in wake of the Queen's passing. Henry Millick, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Meanwhile, federal MPs have been bombarded by people wishing to claim free portraits of Her Majesty. The member for Grays says providing the portraits is an age-old tradition, but warns his stocks are almost gone.
Looking to grab a slice of history. Residents in the Spencer Gulf have shown a growing interest in a quirky rule in the wake of the Queen's passing. For decades, Australians have been able to claim a free portrait of the reigning monarch by simply contacting their federal MP's office.
People have been able to request a photo of the Queen from members' offices for as long as I've been in Parliament, and I wasn't in Parliament before I was the Queen.
Mr Ramsey noticing a surge in people looking to get their hands on the item over the past week. He says many want to hang them in their home as a keepsake or to add to a wider collection.
And I'd say actually over the last year or two there's been a bit of an upswing in people looking for photos of the Queen. We have them, we have a few in stock. There's been a bit of a rush on, we've ordered a few more, but we're very close to the closure of that program.
With stocks of the sought-after memento running low, Ramsey says his office will order more, but he warns it's likely the royal picture will change very soon. When
King Charles is officially sworn in, I think that will be about the end of it, so if anyone wants one, we've got a few. I don't want to create a great rush to the door, but they are there.
Ramsey says the outpouring of love for the Queen is a testament to her, saying we may never see a better example of dedication to service. Edward McCarroll, 7 Spencer Golf News.
To other news now, and a Port Lincoln driver will appear in court after failing to submit a breath test. Around 7 p.m. on Wednesday, Port Lincoln police stopped a Holden Commodore on Western Approach Road for a mobile driver's test. The 51-year-old local man allegedly recorded a positive alcohol test, but failed to comply with further breath analysis. The man was reported for refusing to submit to a breath analysis and was issued with an immediate 12-month loss of licence. A new report has revealed drownings have risen across Australia to the worst numbers seen in more than 25 years. The Royal Life Saving Society of Australia has today released its annual data, with local experts calling for action.
Troubling statistics that the peak body is worried about. After years of declining numbers, drownings have surged 15% in the past year.
Long term, we are trending down and we have been making good progress in recent years, so this is certainly very disappointing. We know that flooding has played a role.
Mother Nature playing her role, with 13% flood-related. In New South Wales, that figure sat at 11%.
In any flooding incident, the most important thing is to follow the advice of emergency services. Unfortunately, particularly this year, we have seen drowning deaths related to people driving through floodwater.
South Australia had 13 drowning deaths, which is the same as last year. Beach incidents accounted for 46%. In New South Wales, there was a 26% increase this year. Rivers and creek incidents growing by 23%.
I think it's important to remember that with inland waterways, conditions can change so rapidly, particularly after heavy rainfall like we have seen in the last year.
Drownings among children aged 5 to 14 rose by 7%, with experts suggesting due to the pandemic halting lessons. On a positive note, the number of young people taking to the water in Broken Hill has grown.
So our community here in Broken Hill has been really supportive of our swim school here at the YMCA. We've actually increased numbers since coming back from lockdown, and we've held over 500 students for around 10 months now.
Parents urged to enrol their children early.
So we start programs here from 6 months old, and I say the earlier the better. But from any age, we do have programs working all the way up to 9 years old.
Joshua Mercer, 7, Spencer Gulf News.
Still to come tonight, Port Perry community groups honour those helping children in need. And Grease Lightning coming to a Broken Hill silver screen, all in the name of charity. Welcome back. Port Lincoln locals will have to wait a little longer to see cruise ships dock on their shorelines, with the Coral Princess set to remain in Melbourne until Saturday. An intense low-pressure system generating strong winds has affected the cruise ship's itinerary, which was due to arrive in Port Lincoln early Sunday morning. The visit by the Coral Princess was scheduled to be the first cruise ship back to the Eyre Peninsula after more than 2 years. While visits to Adelaide and Port Lincoln have been cancelled, it will embark to Kangaroo Island on Monday. South Australians have paused this week to honour the work of foster carers in our community. Numerous events have been held to thank and celebrate carers for their role in changing the lives of young people in need.
It's been a big week for United Country SA, with Country Cabinet and the celebration of Foster Carer and Kinship Week. The team has travelled throughout the region to meet with those taking part in life-changing work.
Currently have both the general foster care program and a specialist foster care program for children with higher and more complex needs.
Coming from a variety of backgrounds, experts say a good foster carer has the ability to care for and support children and young people in a safe, secure and nurturing home.
They can have children, they might not have children, they can have pets, they might not have pets, they can rent a house, they can own their own home.
The topic of foster carers and child protection was brought up at the Country Cabinet earlier this week. Premier Peter Malinauskas telling the crowd he was shocked to learn 4 children are taken away from their family each week on average. Also saying the most important thing parents and guardians can do is continually lead by example.
When you become approved as a foster carer, you are provided with 24/7 support by your fostering agency, so help is always at hand.
If you are interested in becoming a foster carer, you can contact United Country SA or the SA Government's website for additional information. Annabelle Francis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Breast Cancer Broken Hill is getting ready to ramp up its charity efforts, beginning with a cheeky fundraiser next week. Not only do they have a special screening of a beloved movie, they will also be getting ready for Pink October.
A chance to remember a champion of breast cancer. The local charity is hosting a special screening of Grease on September 25. Silver City Cinema helping the group turn the idea into reality.
Ashton Wren contacted us as well and asked if we would like to do the screening of Grease in her memorial, so we just jumped at the chance.
The event coming just weeks after the passing of Grease star Olivia Newton-John, who publicly battled the disease for 3 decades.
She was a very good ambassador for breast cancer, even though we knew that she was ill and she has been suffering. It is still a shock when someone passes with any type of cancer.
The screening will lead into Pink October, a month that will see the Silver City turn pink.
So it's a time to come together, paint our town pink, and just create a lot of awareness and be aware that, breast cancer affects 1 in 7 women.
The charity has been busy over the past few weeks getting the shop front ready for opening.
Well, we're busy making our pink rosettes again, so they'll be on sale in our pink shop, which opens on Monday, full time, Monday to Saturday, from 11 a.m. till about 3 p.m.
To book a ticket to the special screening of Grease, contact Breast Cancer Broken Hill through their Facebook page. Joshua Mercer, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Coming up after the break, a Port Perry High School does well at the Royal Adelaide Show. And we preview the Wyler Football League Grand Final, with the Roosters and Tigers set to go head-to-head. It was a special day today for local birdwatchers, with many celebrating Hooded Plover Appreciation Day. The endangered species haven't always had the best run in the wild, but new data suggests the population is growing, finally spreading their wings.
After years of concern, there's hope this local bird is soaring to new heights. An increase in the hooded plover population has been welcomed by the Eyre Peninsula Landscape Board.
So during the 2021-22 season, we had what would probably be one of our best breeding seasons recorded since we've been monitoring.
A team of volunteers from BirdLife Australia have been observing 22 pairs of hooded plovers on the Eyre Peninsula. The results showing a boom in population.
Really, really excited to be able to record 23 fledglings last season, which was more than 3 times the number of fledglings, which are birds that have reached flying age, recorded in the previous season, which was 6.
The board also keeping tabs of more than 45 nests, safely intervening where they can.
But also some more targeted intervention work such as flanking signage and nest site fencing at those high threat locations, just to help alert the public.
Fisheries Beach is a hotspot for tourists and locals, but it's also home of the hooded plovers, with 2 chicks recently taking flight. The public urged to remain vigilant.
Had to intervene there. Obviously it's a very busy beach and heavily accessed by the public, so we actually put in some fencing infrastructure according to quite strict protocols to give them that space that they need.
To learn more, visit the board's website. Henry Millick, 7 Spencer Golf News.
St Mark's agriculture students have made their mark on one of South Australia's premier agricultural events. The team competing at the Royal Adelaide Show last week, with their efforts catching the eyes of judges.
An impressive effort in this school's competition. Nerves were running high as students from St Mark's competed for the first time at the Royal Adelaide Show. Up against some of the most prestigious schools in the state, it's difficult to tell who enjoyed it more.
A popular event there at the show, and so they'll be way better for the experience, and they've already talked about what they want to do for next year in their preparation.
The team have spent the past year caring for the animals to ensure they look their best and behave on the day.
We led the sheep and we also collected the wool for the sheep after they've been shorn, and we participated in the grand parade. We walked around.
Already looking to next year, they want to improve their sheep handling so they can advance into further stages of the competition. But it was the performance of their goats that surprised them all.
Better than we expected. They didn't lead very well here, but then when we got down there, they went really well.
My goat won 5th place out of the 17 goats in that group.
Far from resting on their laurels, these kids are back on the tools. Students will continue to develop their knowledge in agriculture and animal husbandry, with sheep shearing training taking place in November. Annabelle Francis, 7 Spencer Golf News.
It's the region's biggest footy weekend for the year, with 3 grand finals taking place on Saturday. In Wyler, 2 teams are facing off for the 2nd year in a row, with one hoping to break a 25-year premiership drought.
Wyalla's Bennett Oval is looking green and ready to go. Council workers and volunteers today putting the final touches to the venue, with thousands expected at the grounds tomorrow to watch Roona Bay and Centrals fight it out for the premiership. Both teams are familiar with each other, with this the second year in a row the two have faced off in the Big Dance. Runners-up last year, the stakes are even higher for the Bays, with the club itching to end their premiership drought.
Oh, look, after 26 years of not winning a premiership, it would be absolutely fantastic to win one this year for the boys.
With everything on the line, the Tigers are very aware of the threat their opponents pose.
Oh, I think they're the favourites going in, probably the best team in town, but we're hoping to spoil their party and get it done this year.
Oh, I don't know if they're favourites. They've knocked us off twice in the last month, so I think we've got our work cut out for us.
The two teams are getting on with the job at hand, with this week's training focusing on making sure they're up for the battle.
We were in it last year and we're preparing a bit differently this year. There was a bit of extra pressure last year, so just train like a normal game and see what happens.
We're just trying to keep doing what we do every week and just go to training and not think about it too much, I guess.
I think it'll come down to the wire. Depends on the weather. It's going to be wet, I think, Saturday. Forecast to come in a couple of mil of rain, but no, I'm hoping it's a good tussle. And all finals have been a good tussle at the moment. There hasn't been one that's been a blowout.
Edward McCarroll, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us after the break. Our footy experts will have their say on this weekend's grand finals. And we'll have the weather details with Alex Sykes. Hello again. It's that one day in September for 3 of our local footy leagues on Saturday, with each match expected to be close. With a preview, here's our experts with their tips.
Hello and welcome to the grand final edition of SGL Football Tips. Well, as you can see behind me, we're set for a huge day with a big crowd expected. The day starts at 9:30 with the under-15 grand final featuring Port and West. That's followed at 11:15 with the under-18s grand final with Port taking on Central in that one. Then it's the seconds. That starts at 12:55 with Soli's taking on Central. Then it's the big one, the league grand final at 2:45 with the Lions taking on Solis. These two sides have met 4 times this year and it's 2 apiece, so this game could go either way. If you can remember back to last year's grand final, it was an absolute epic with the game going extra time, and if this year's anything like that, well, it'll be a heart stopper. It's going to be tough for the Cats. They've had to come to the grand final the hard way, losing the first week to Lions and then bouncing back with a good win over South last week to book their spot this week against Lions. Lions coming into this match slight favourites, and the Cats will be at their best if they're going to stop the hard-running players in Lions. This game should be a beauty. It's hard to give a tip in this match, as the heart says the Cats, but the head says the Lions. I'm going with the heart. Come on, the Cats.
It's grand final time here in Whyalla football, and it's Central Whyalla have made it through to play Waroona Bay in another grand final on Saturday at Bennett Oval. Expect this game to be super close. Both teams are highly talented, very quick. The big oval and the good weather of summertime finals football will really suit both teams. Both teams are stacked with talent. Expect guys from Centrals, especially the young brigade and people like Hewish and others, will be able to dominate through the middle, but the Waroona Bay have got guys as well, like Rogers and star player and Stephen Jackson, who should be able to dominate. It's really hard to pick this one. It's going to go down to the wire. Put simply, it's just down to the fact that Waroona Bay did beat them 2 weeks ago in the second semi, and I think the Bays will win in a very close grand final.
Grand final day tomorrow. I hope everyone's excited as I am. It's going to be a wet and woolly day, which brings everyone down to the same level. In the A grade, we've got Marble Range hosting Tasmans. Marble Range have been the team to beat in this grade, undefeated all year. They made light work of them 2 weeks ago. However, Tasmans looked great last week against Lincoln South. Probably going to be one in the midfield. Marble Range have probably got the upper hand there, and I'm going to tip Marble Range to win this one in a lot closer game than people expect. Marble Range by 2 goals.
Time now for a look at what's happening in the weather with Alex Sykes. Alex, what can we expect for grand final day tomorrow?
Well, John, it could be a bit of a mixed bag tomorrow with a few showers expected in some areas. I'll have more details on that soon. Starting with today's temperatures, 17 in Port Pirie, a chilly one in Clare, the Valley reaching just 12 degrees, windy and 20 in Cooper Pedy. Looking further out, Whyalla and Broken Hill both reached 18, Port Lincoln topped 16, Port Augusta got to a top of 19 degrees. Taking a look at the satellite image now, and a cloud band extends from the inland to the far east with a cold front bringing blustery showers and some storms. Showers are heaviest southeast of the Yorke Peninsula, but affecting all southern near coastal areas. Turning to tomorrow's weather now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. It will be blustery westerly winds reaching 30 knots, seas up to 3 metres, and the swell will be south to southwesterly. And as of this afternoon, there's strong wind warnings for West Coast and Spencer Gulf areas, while a sheep graziers alert is in place for the Flinders and Mid-North. Grand final day in Port Lincoln will be 16 with a few showers. Cleve can expect similar conditions. Woodnut 17 with a chance of a shower or two tomorrow. While it will be dry on Grand Final day, Port Augusta will be 20 and cloudy. Showers easing in Kadina, 16 the top there. A few morning showers in Port Pirie ahead of the SGL decider. Clare will still be cool, set to reach a high of 12 degrees there. And Broken Hill will be partly cloudy and 18. Taking a look further through the week now, and on Saturday it will be mild in northern areas. Showers and 20 in Port Pirie, Port Lincoln 17 with some rain, Adelaide 16 degrees. It'll be mild and sunny on Monday, temperatures ranging from 18 in Adelaide to a warm 29 degrees in Cooper Pedy. Those showers, however, will still linger in Port Lincoln. Showers are expected across most parts on Tuesday. Temperatures will still be mild though. Broken Hill, the region's warmest. The Silver City can expect showers and 26. And that's all the weather from me for tonight. Good luck to all the teams playing in the grand finals. It's back to you, John.
Thanks for that, Alex. And that's the local news for tonight and the week. On behalf of the team here, thanks for your company. I'll have updates later, and Madeline will be back with you on Monday. Until then, have a great weekend, and if your team's in a grand final, all the best of luck. Good night.